Good morning, everyone. Give folks a couple seconds to jump in. Also going to make sure that we're recording. And if you're joining us, this is the Move to AU session. So this is an overview of housing and residence life and some of the things that we're going to be doing ahead of the semester and ahead of move-in, but then ultimately how we are going to support you during our move-in operation. So welcome to the group and to the breakout room. Let me just make sure I have everybody here.
A quick note before you start the main content. If you're planning on asking a question, or even if you're not, it would be super helpful if you could rename on Zoom to have your first and last name visible. That way, if there's a question that we don't have time to answer, we'll email you and we can better connect your email from the RSVP to your Zoom name, and that way we can make sure everyone's questions get answered. You can do that by clicking the three dots in your Zoom square and clicking rename.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. Okie dokie. So we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully folks are still viewing us on Move to AU screen. Again, this is the Housing and Residence Life presentation on how we'll be supporting you, your student, during the move-in process and welcoming you to AU's campus coming up here in August. So again, this session is being recorded. We have lots of folks with us. We'll have lots of questions in the chat. I'm joined by some colleagues who are going to help us with that, and obviously appreciate the support from our larger orientation group. Happy to have everybody with us this morning. So my name is Mason Henderson. I'm the Director of Housing here at American University. So I work with our Director of Residence Life and our Housing and Residence Life larger team to basically work through all of the things that go on in the residence halls. We're the team that helps manage room selection and helps do move-in planning. So a lot of experience at AU. I've been with AU since 2018. And I'm joined this morning by Desi Heneva, who is our Assistant Director of Housing Assignments. We'll hear from Desi in a little bit about some of the things you'll be experiencing in the residence halls if you haven't heard already. And we'll talk a little bit about, at the end of this presentation, some of the different materials we have. If you haven't connected with us yet or haven't been a part of any of our other webinars, we have some other resources and information in addition to what we'll have today. It's a quick session in the breakout room, so we'll answer as much as we can, but we'll also be sharing some more information about where you can go to find things if you're interested in learning more about move-in and what to expect. So just a little bit about our agenda. We're going to be going through some broad strokes here, starting with what community is and means at AU and how we support that in our residence halls through our Housing and Residence Life operation. We'll talk a little bit about spaces and what first-year spaces look like at AU, meaning your room space, your residence hall space. We'll go into a little bit of detail with what optional upgrades are available to students now through their student housing portal. And then we'll talk a little bit about what living with a roommate is like, what your move-in day is going to look like, and then resources and dates. We'll go through a lot of the timeline. At this stage in the summer, many folks have already heard from us, students have been checking their AU email. So just a reminder to be checking that if you aren't, but we've shared a lot of information about move-in time slots and move-in dates. So a lot of this may be repeat information for you or your student or students for yourselves in general, just because we've been sharing a lot of information to help get you prepared for welcoming you to AU in August. So a little bit about just community and how we approach that here at AU. It's a who, where, how kind of approach to support looks like and what community building looks like. So we're going to talk a little bit about who's in your community and is there to help you support on the next slide. And what we want you to remember is that we have a full professional staff of Housing and Residence Life team members, in addition to the residence hall assistants that Desi will talk about here in a minute. where obviously we have 13 different residence halls on campus, from upper division apartment style halls down to first year traditional style double halls or suite style halls. So we'll talk a little bit about what those halls look like and how that leads to a fully supported community. We'll talk a little bit about the lounges and what to expect, what to bring, those kind of things. And then, of course, we want to go over a little bit of how you can make your room at AU special to you, and how you can work and live with a roommate successfully, especially in your first year on a college campus. And I will pass it over to Desi to talk a little bit about the how we create community piece.
Thanks, Mason. So when we talk about creating your community, the first thing you need to know, as Mason already mentioned, is who is here to support you and to make sure all the university policies and procedures are followed. So we have an extensive team of professional and student staff members on campus to support our residential community, starting with the resident assistants. These are the student leaders who create culture on the floor throughout programming and community expectations. So you will get to know those resident assistants as soon as you move in, and we recommend you to connect with your resident assistants right from the start so that you can learn more about what events are planned to happen on campus, how you can get extra support, and you can get any answers to any questions you might have with your resident assistants. We have a lovely team of community directors. So for the fall, there are going to be 9 community directors. There is a community director in charge of each residence hall. And these are master level professionals who are available 24/7 to handle any escalated issues you might have. They are full-time living staff here to support students both in their transition to the university and to make sure they're successful in their living environment. In addition to the community directors and residence assistants, we have our housing and residence life team. That is an extensive team of professional staff at various levels who are here to ensure our residents are safe, secure, and stay connected with us. Our housing and residence life office is located at Anderson Hall, first floor. We're open normal business hours, through Monday through Friday, and we have a lovely compact team of office assistants, our student staff members who support our frontline communications. And if we want to go to the next slide, the second part of creating your community, of course, this is your space. So we have 6 residence halls available for first-year students this coming fall. That includes our Black Affinity housing in Roper Hall. Most of the halls, the residence halls that are available for first-year students, are traditional style double. That means that all our students who are going to have roommates. As of this moment, all of you should know your housing assignments. You should have been able to check your residence hall, where you're going to live, your residence hall, your room space, and the contact information for your roommate on the housing portal. Each room comes with a set of furniture for each roommate, and we highly encourage you to get in touch, to connect with your roommate before you move in so that you can make any arrangements, who is bringing what to the room. There are very limited single rooms available on campus. We frequently get asked if there are single rooms available. So all the single rooms, the limited number of single rooms, are available through our Academic Support and Access Center. There is a separate process for applying for these, and you need to get pre-approved for a single room accommodation through the Office of Academic Support and Access. Triples, that is the other type of rooms that are limited. These are truly triple rooms, and they're available upon request. So if student wants to opt in for a cheaper housing option, they can always reach out to our office, and we will do our best to meet their requests. All the residence halls have floor kitchens, study lounges, common areas available for our residents, and laundry rooms. Most of the traditional style halls have gender bathrooms, communal bathrooms on each floor, with the exception of McDowell, who is going under renovation this summer, and there will be neutral pot style bathrooms on each floor available. If you want to go to the next one.
So just a little bit about room upgrades. And again, Desi's kind of shown, I'll actually go back just so you can see. These are all rooms that are decorated by students and were submitted as part of our Best Nest competition on campus. So one of the things that we do as a housing team and a Res Life team, we'll have different opportunities for programming and interaction with students. But just wanted to call out that a lot of the decoration that you see here is done by students. This is more what a room will look like when you come into it without, obviously the blue binders and blue sheets on the bed, but just wanted to call out a couple things that can come standard if you would like to purchase them or have them put in your room before you move in. So in this photo, you'll see a picture of our bed lofts, which again are available for rental through our housing portal. Basically, we run, it's a $250 for the year rental. We ask that students who are interested in having a loft don't bring your own, rent them from us. And oh, sorry, my computer's doing something funky. Rent them from us and we will install them before moving as long as you've made the rental purchase before the 1st of August. XL mattresses. So these are on a first come, first served basis because we have a limited quantity of them on campus. We'll have a lot of questions in the chat when I say this, but all of our measurements for buying sheets for mattresses are on our website. So if ever you're concerned about getting the right size sheet, the industry standard has become to basically make normal what used to be an extra long mattress, and now our extra longs are extra longs. So a lot of that information is on our website. We'll have that on at the end for those that want to take a look at it specifically. But if you are someone who is above 6'2", basically 6'3" and above, we have a requesting process for students to submit documentation and upgrade their mattress to an XL. Again, we do that and throughout the summer, and it's available on the student housing portal right now. And then something that's available all year, we work with a third-party company to provide the smaller micro fridges. So that company is My Fridge Rental. They will put, you don't see one pictured here, but basically they will work with students to have a contract basically to rent throughout the year, either a micro fridge and a microwave, or just the micro fridge unit. They also do lockbox rentals if that's something that you want to look into. So their information is also on our website and is shared out pretty regularly at this stage. Again, they have a timeline to contract where they will come in and install things before you move in, which is really convenient. But you're able to contract with them throughout the year if you decide that you want to add a micro fridge to your room later on. And again, we're going to talk about the student housing portal kind of ad nauseum, but that's definitely something that all this information is there, and a lot of it is just a few simple clicks to do some of the purchasing and find more information if students you're interested or parents you're interested in taking a look. The other thing I'll note about the My Fridge Rental is that we do require, if you are going to have a microwave in your room, we actually do require that that is provided through a My Fridge Rental because of the safety standards that we have. It's just easier for us to work with them to make sure that we have the correct, basically any heating implement that's in the residence hall, the correct unit that's fully safe and has an automatic shut off and all those things. So those are some of the upgrades for your room. We'll transition out of kind of the community building and I'll pass it back over to Desi to talk about move-in.
Thanks, Mason. So moving is probably the most exciting time of the year, both for our staff and for all the incoming residents. So we're going briefly cover your moving time slot assignments, what the moving process will look like, and how you can get more information and how you can connect with us further in case you have any questions. Want to go next one? Yep, so this is an overview of our moving calendar. All of you should have already received your moving time slots. We released our moving time slot at the end of June. And in case you missed the email, the moving time slot is available on our housing portal. So just log into your housing portal so that you can check what day and what time you'll be moving in. We have our assisted moving experience, especially for our first year community. So the moving days that will offer assisted moving are Sunday, August 18th and Monday, August 19th. So all the first year students were originally assigned one of these two moving dates based on their community preference and the residence hall they will be living in. We highly encourage you to move in during these 2 days in order for you to get that experience and to feel the vibe, the real vibe on campus. We have a huge team of volunteers, loaders, and of course our professional staff who will help you complete the moving during these 2 days. So once you arrive, you will get additional parking instructions, and Mason can cover a little bit more about that. But once you get on campus, our team will meet you, will help you unload your vehicle, and while your student is completing the check-in process, we will help you with moving your stuff to your room. So in case, only in case you have any, I would say, circumstances you cannot do your original assisted moving day, otherwise we suggest you to feel that experience. We have this early moving day that is Saturday, August the 17th. So students who are part of our Black Affinity Housing, who are participating in Venture to Volunteer program, and any returning students who have signed up for volunteers. We have lots of returning students who are willing to help and to meet our new residents on campus, and students with approved early moving requests through our housing portal were assigned this moving date and times. However, please be aware that our Saturday, August the 17th is unassisted moving, so you won't be able to get the same experience as if you're doing the moving during the assisted moving days for first-year students. And starting August the 20th is when our returning students start moving in. These are our sophomore, upperclassmen communities, and any students who are not able to make the traditional first-year moving dates.
And I'll just add on to some of what Desi is saying in terms of our assisted move-in process. Obviously, for those of you who have been to AU's campus before, maybe on a tour, or even if you just looked at a campus map, we're a pretty, we think of it as a small but mighty campus. It's pretty dense, actually. So a lot of our move-in process and procedure for an assisted move-in is to help everybody get through campus as quickly as possible, get your cars unloaded. We'll have drop-off areas for if anybody's coming from the airport via a ride share. All of that information about where to go. It's going to seem really complicated at the beginning, but we share everything out via the student housing portal. We'll have different bits of information shared, and much of it you can see already now on your student housing portal. But basically, when you get to campus, you won't be looking for where to go or where to park. You'll basically be directed. As Desi noted, there's a little bit of a difference between the Sunday and Monday and Saturday, with Saturday being mainly the unassisted process, but we'll still have volunteers around to help you find parking, help you get to the Mary Graydon Center to get your one card, your U-Pass, to make sure that you can actually enter your room, to drop your stuff off. So a little bit of a different process there, but throughout, the main thing we want folks to know is that the move-in experience is really meant to be a time where you're being welcomed to campus. Sure, it's operational, and we're going to be lifting some things for you, or you'll be lifting some things on Saturday, but the goal is to really focus on being welcome to campus and getting involved in some programming that's available that day, getting you in touch with some of the resources at the Mary Graydon Center, which again is our student center. You've probably heard a lot about it at this point, but making sure that you have time to kind of say your goodbyes and enjoy kind of a day on campus rather than just focusing on getting your room ready. We want to do a lot of that for you as much as is possible. So a lot of our operation is built to do that for you. Again, with some of the things Desi's noting on your move-in time slots and moving between days, for students who are participating, and Desi called some of them out for the Saturday, August 17th move-in, participating in specific orientation programs that require it, we worked with the orientation team to make sure that your move-in date is correct on your student housing portal, so that you don't have to worry about, oh shoot, I was assigned Monday, but I actually have a program on Sunday evening. We've taken care of that for you. And then if anybody joins programs late, orientation will basically reach out to let you know, hey, this is the date you should be moving in, and housing can basically assist you getting your time slot moved. So those are all things to be aware of. And then the only other thing I'll add, Desi, is that when we get into Tuesday through Sunday, the 20th through the 25th, y'all probably won't be that involved, first-year students, with welcoming our sophomores and upper division students to campus, because you're going to be doing a lot of orientation programming at that point. You've heard a lot about that today, what that's going to look like. But again, our goal on the housing side is to make sure that you have plenty of time to have a moment take in the campus with your families and friends, and really focus on like that final goodbye on move-in day. And then you'll be super busy through Tuesday through Sunday. Some of you even earlier. Some of you have evening programs starting over that weekend. So just wanted to call some of those things out for move-in. And then we mentioned this at the top, but we sort of like to end before we get to like our general information. We do have a move-in webinar that we did earlier in July. Many of you were probably on it, but if you aren't, we have a recording that's available. You can go to our website or send us an email. I'll have our contact on the next slide. But again, we are actively engaging with students throughout the first year class, new transfer students, all the way up through our upper division students. So please remember that we are available via our website, social media, our email, and a lot of that is here. So I'll kind of end on this slide and just kind of, I'm going to take a look over at the chat while I'm screen sharing to see if there's anything specific that's popped up. I know Kaylee McDonald has been answering a lot of questions. Kaylee is our Associate Director for Housing Assignments Communication. So Desi, we probably don't have much work to do in terms of answering questions because I see a lot of it already getting answered. But we will take a quick look and see. There's some really great questions about furniture and what to bring. And I think Desi and I talked a little bit about it, but one thing I like to note on every single time I have an opportunity to talk to students, parents, families, friends, anybody who's going to be involved in move-in, the first thing I will tell you is we have a what to bring and what not to bring, which is both a list of suggestions, which is helpful, and then a list of like, hey, definitely don't bring this to keep in your room. So I mentioned, for example, one of those things is don't bring in a personal microwave unless it's been rented through MyFridge Rental, for example. So there are some examples there, but in terms of suggestions, I like to tell everyone, one, go and take a look if you haven't already at what your room space looks like. We have virtual tours on our website. So that's there on the slide. You can go and take a look and get a sense. You can click through and actually feel like you're walking through the room space. The reason I say that is number two, make sure you have a good understanding of how much space that you have. Our first year students and first year students on every campus are notorious for bringing just a little bit too much stuff on that first day. And what I will tell everybody is that when we get to winter break, I see a lot of stuff getting picked up to go back home that students decided, you know what, I did a fall semester with all this stuff in my room. I need less of it. So click through those virtual tours and get a sense of what you actually have in terms of space to work with. That's one thing that I'll call out. Desi, I don't know if there's anything specifically. I know there are a lot of questions in the chat about just like move-in in general and parking. Again, yes, like when we'll share out roadmaps, and generally you'll need to know like where to enter campus. And a lot of that will be right on the cart tags and the information that you're printing out to bring with you so that we know where to get you and where to go. But once you enter campus and once you get to DC, we'll take care of the rest for you. And it's really, you're going to be greeted by a lot of people. You'll be sick of seeing volunteers and housing and residence life staff by the end of the day. So I see some questions in the chat about like, how do we know where to go? At this stage, look at those road plans when we send them, but for the most part, know that you will be directed throughout the day. You're not going to be searching for where your residence hall is. You're not going to be searching for where to park. There's going to be like one direction to go and you'll be directed the whole entire time. We are just about at time. Desi, anything you want to call out? I know with these breakouts, we will suddenly lose everybody as we are sucked back into the other room.
Just probably to wrap up one more time, you see on the screen how you can better connect with us. Feel free to ask any questions that might come before you start packing. Make sure you check the web page. As Mason said, our moving webpage is we have a section before you move in where this what to pack, what not to pack list is included. Feel free to email us, give us a call, chat with us. So these are the normal chat hours. During moving days, we are going to offer extended chat hours. So even if you're arriving before 1 p.m., you can jump on the chat and ask us a quick question. Follow us on the social media, the Instagram and Facebook accounts out there, and yeah, just let us know if you have any questions.
I will try very quickly. I'm going to lose you all in a second, but I'm going to run through some very quick questions that I'm seeing. Lofted beds are great, give you a lot of space underneath. They are different from the normal bed, which allows you to, we actually have beds where you can change the height. It'll give you about 3 feet of difference in terms of space. A loft is all the way up in the air. So obviously a lot more space there, but when you move in, your bed can be adjusted, and we have a great video to show you how to do that. Had a really great question about like literally moving stuff. Volunteers on the Sunday and Monday, the 18th and 19th, and movers will be moving stuff out of your cars into bins. We'll be taking your cart tags. It'll go up to your room and it'll be unloaded for you. We will not set up your room for you because who knows how you want it done, but we will be lifting a lot of that stuff for you. On Saturday, we'll have carts available and bins available for you. I recommend trying to use, again, IKEA bags are a great thing that we see used, the Tupperware bags, the bins, because you're going to be doing a lot of that, like moving things into carts yourself, whereas Sunday and Monday, we'll be doing a lot of that for you. Again, I saw some specific questions about measurements. A lot of that is on our website. If there's something that you need to know that you're not seeing, please email us. We'll get you to the right person and we'll get you the information that you need, no matter how specific it is. And again, I would just plug right here at the end. Yes, moving carts will be available on the 17th. I just saw that in the chat. I would also plug, and we're going to lose you here in a second, the move-in webinar if you haven't seen it yet. So that recording is available on our website. Thank you, Desi. Thank you, Kaylee, in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Enjoy your final session as we leave the breakout room.
For Mr. Right, guessing I just don't know where to find them, but I hope they all come out tonight. Where do the good boys go to hide away, hide away?
All right, I think we're all back here.
All right. So we are about ready for our last breakout session. The only difference this session with the other previous ones is if you look, there is a student question and answer in breakout room 6, and then a parent session in breakout 7. Those are really only for students or parents, families respectively. But other than that, everything else is, as we said this whole morning, really choose your own adventure. To answer the question in the chat, the difference between student engagement and getting involved. Getting involved is really focused on clubs and organizations and things from the student level, coming out of our Center for Student Involvement as well, or CSI, whereas student engagement was a much broader category. I also have a question about move to AU. Yes, that is about the process of moving on campus into your residence halls as well. And then the question about accounts. Yes, so the breakout room for accounts and things related to that is not being offered this session. But if you are interested, that there will be a recording uploaded to our YouTube channel in the next coming weeks or so, and you'll be able to catch up on what you may have missed then as well.
Okay, I think we are at 92 people who've answered, or 92% of people who've answered. I'm about to close the poll, so do your choices. All righty. I am creating our breakout rooms. Okay. For presenters, you may have to hit the breakout room button and select which one you want to go to. Let us know if you need help moving there. I will
Hello. Good morning, everyone. So excited to see you. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give people a few more minutes. Do that. Whoop. Share. Oh, Lord. All right. Can you all see my presentation okay? All right, cool. Okay. So I'll wait one more minute because we got one more minute till everyone gets into the room. And then we will get started. Happy Saturday. And I was like, great, Saturday morning. Well, that's for the East Coast at least. Okay, it's 11:30 and I got a little bit of a lot to go through. So I want to be sure that we get through everything. My name is Danielle Kuhn. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I've been at AU for about 5 years, and I am the Associate Director for Education and Support Programs. I'll tell you a little bit more about what all of that means when we get into it, when I start to introduce our wonderful team. I'm from Washington, D.C., so if you have any questions about living here and moving here, that would be something that I would know, okay? But let's get into it. So the Center for Diversity and Inclusion, which is also lovingly known as CDI, is a place where you can find your people, you can find community. And we support that through outreach, education, workshops, and student support programs, basically. So this is our vision for AU. We want for all identities on campus to be understood, appreciated, and really celebrated for their differences and have equitable treatment that is the outcome for all of the things that happens on our campus. We want equitable treatment for the identities that we serve. So this is what we're going to go over today. Our team and what we do, some of our key programs, using CDI as a resource, how you can keep up with us and learn about what we're doing all the time, and then ways for you to become involved with CDI if you think we're cool and you want to hang out with us. Okay. So this is our team. We are small but very mighty. So I'll start with myself. Like I said, I do education, training, dialogue, and support programs. I'm the associate director for the center. And so basically what that means is that I am in charge of presentations like this, education, workshops, trainings to help people learn how to be inclusive, understanding their biases, recognizing identity, social constructs. These types of things I speak about and teach others about on campus. Next is Corey Lassiter, who's the assistant director. Their focus is sort of the same as what I do, but they focus on the LGBTQIA+ community, and a lot of their programs support those identities. Next is Allison Wallen, who is the assistant director for student success, transition, and retention. That's a lot of words, but she is basically in charge of our summer enrichment program, which is called STEP. It's actually happening right now. It's a group of students that come on campus before the fall semester to kind of get a step ahead. They go to classes, they have programmings, they travel around DC to learn more about the city, and just have an opportunity to be on campus before they have to. Next is Quinn, who is my fellow associate director for student equity, access, and retention. So she is namely responsible for ensuring that the students that come to our office seeking resources or help, that it happens for them. You know, students may come to every one of us differently, but sometimes we will go to Quinn to get the final measure of ensuring that things happen. Last but definitely not least is Robin Adams, our CDI director. She is responsible for making sure we don't get in trouble, but mostly for ensuring that the needs and wants of the center, which is really the needs and wants of the students, are translated to leadership. So if policy needs to be changed, or there needs to be some sort of advocacy on behalf of students for a reason, for campus climate, she's really the person who stands on the front lines for us to ensure that what is important to us gets told to leadership and the change happens. I also want to say that if you all have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, or you can send me a direct chat and I will be more than happy to answer it for you. All right, next slide. So this is what we do. Out of all of our positions, we all touch on each of these three things. We provide education, outreach, and advocacy for LGBTQIA+, first-gen students, international, and multicultural students. So what that means is that the education portion, workshops, training, dialogue, all of that centers around how we function as an office. And then outreach, like community building, where we do programming every week where you can just come hang out at our office, color some pages, you can have a conversation, do your homework, just chill, basically. Then also advocacy, where you may be experiencing something on campus, you're not quite sure what it means, but you know you may feel uncomfortable about it, right? So you may be like, I don't know what to do about this. Who do I go to? You can come to CDI and we can help you figure out what the language is for it, and then also help you to advocate for yourself as it relates to whatever your issue is, okay? All right, so our key programs. STEP, I already told you all about, which happens during the summer. It's an enrichment program. And then next is District Scholars. So this is for DC-based students. They get a full ride scholarship. It is offered by the university, but is ran through CDI. Next is First Generation Week, where we focus on a full week of programming that's dedicated to being a first generation student. And the thing that I love most about this week is that you get the opportunity to mix and mingle with staff, faculty, alum that are all first gen, because you will recognize that being first gen doesn't stop at college. You are first gen when you graduate, when you start your career, when you learn to invest, or when you want to buy a boat. I don't know. It's first gen allows for you to speak to other people who have been or are in those same positions, and you can get advice and maybe mentorship through these programs. Next is day one, which is a great kind of opening introduction to CDI. It happens during Welcome Week. So, you know, you all will be there. It's the last day of Welcome Week on the 29th. So it's really low level, no pressure. We will have music, food, arts and craft tables, giveaways. We do a photo booth, music. So it's just a fun time for you all to learn about CDI and to mix and mingle with the students who are already a part of CDI and come to our program, so you can kind of get a feel for what it is that we do and the impact that it has on students. Next are our affinity socials, which are also happening during Welcome Week and orientation, where we are specific to different identities on campus, and we partnered with some student organizations to kind of plan these affinity socials so that they can really represent the identity that they hold. I'm really excited about those, and I hope that you will come to them. Next is National Coming Out Day, where we do the raising of the flag, and there is just a full day of programming as it relates to the importance of National Coming Out Day. And then we also have National Coming Out Week. It's a lot of programs. And then we also have Dialogue Peer Educator Program, which is starting in the fall. So this is an opportunity for you to become a part of CDI. I'm hiring peer educators. You don't need to have previous facilitator experience. We will train you. But what you do need to have is a passion for either learning about DEIB or being a part of this work or making an impact on campus. So if you're interested in becoming a peer educator, let me know. The last thing is workshops and training. So you will see on this slide here, like imposter syndrome, don't answer the call. This is one of my most popular workshops that people love to attend. Is basically asking the question, are you the imposter, or is the environment you're in creating that feeling, making you feel that you may not belong? So it's an entire workshop that allows for you to kind of see that dynamic. I personally am a person that does not like to be talked at for long periods of time. So all of my workshops are interactive from start to finish. Quite honestly, I love doing different activities that allow for you to tangibly understand the themes and the objectives of the workshops and trainings. Okay. So CDI as a resource, we partner with a lot of student support programs or organizations on campus, one being Latinos and Action, and then we have Asian American Student Union, and then also the Multicultural Student Union. On here, you will see Engage. I know that you all have already learned about Engage, have been talked about, looked at it through the newsletters, you know about it, but I just want to emphasize that Engage is the way that we post all of our programs. So if you're on Engage, go ahead and join our group, CDI. Let me just see a chat. I want to make sure. Is the Dialogue Peer Educator a paid position? Yes, it is a paid position, 7 to 10 hours a week. And you will do training the first 3 weeks. You'll be paid for that time frame, and then the next 4 weeks will be the time in which we will do the actual dialogues. But yes, it is a paid position. If you are interested, you are free to email me. My email is dkoon@american.edu if you are interested. All right. So another resource that we have, thank you for your question. Another resource that we have is the Trans and Queer Cooperative. So this is a TQ co-op, basically. Well, that's what we call it. And what we do at the TQ co-op is provide gender affirming clothing, as well as chest binders, tucking kits, makeup, wigs, and clothing. All of it is free of charge. And the way that you access it is there's a link on our website where you sign up, and your AU card will be connected so that you can gain access to coming in and out of the TQ co-op. There's mirrors in there, there's like combs and just ways for you to kind of check out to see what you like and what you don't like. And you have the privacy and the space to do it in comfort. That is going to be located on the 3rd floor in the MGC building. Sure, I can put my email in the chat. There you go. So there's my email. Feel free to email me if you're interested. Okay. Our next resource here is gender affirming, other gender affirming resources. So AU has a wonderful system where you can update your given name to your chosen name and your chosen pronoun, so that whenever you go to like an advisor or faculty, staff person, that the name that will come up and the pronouns that will come up will be your chosen name. The next, all gender housing, and then you also have gender-based housing considerations, where you can submit a form through CDI where you can affirm, you can have a roommate type that is affirming to you or affirming to the both of you. They connect the two folks through the forms that are filled out. Okay. Also, we have Black Affinity Housing, which is in Roper Hall. I don't think it's filled up yet, but we are in partnership with them. We typically help you all move in. So if you have already signed up for Black Affinity Housing, I will see you there. We have a ball. We have a really fun time during move-in. And so this is the first Affinity Housing. However, it is not the last. This is housing that came about after Black students on campus protested that they needed a space specifically for them to have affirming support programs and engagement and learning among students on campus. But again, first, not the last. And then these are the top 5 ways for you to engage with CDI. All of these QR codes here are live, so feel free to use your phone to get on our listserv. I am responsible for the newsletter, so I take a lot of pride in ensuring that, yes, I give you all of what's happening on campus, what's happening at the center. But because I'm from DC, I really want for you all to explore and learn about the city that you're in. And so I provide low cost events or no cost events in DC. So like museums or like one thing, the National Art Museum has like this overnight program, which is so much fun. Then you have like free go-go parties on the rooftop of MLK, which is the Martin Luther King Library, public library. There's also Jazz in the Park, where it's a museum that's outside where you can go and kind of sit outside in the park and listen to music. It's wonderful. So all of these different things I put into the newsletter. So if you want to learn about other things on campus, so if you're not finding things on campus that are speaking to you, that maybe off campus things may speak to you and you may find your people there. Also, social media at AUCDI. You can find us on Instagram. That's the number one that we use, but I really want us to get into using TikTok. That's happening this fall, okay? And then next is workshop trainings and dialogue. I would love to see you all at these trainings and these workshops and dialogues. It really gives you an opportunity to dive a little bit deeper past the surface of just going to programs and fun things. Like if you're really ready to learn about your own identity, be able to question it, or be able to find ways to navigate how to have crucial conversations where you're not afraid of being canceled, you're confident in your ideas, you're confident in what it is that you're trying to say, as well as open to the possibility of having a changed thought, right? So I hope to see you there. And then some of our support programs, like our weekly hang times, or just moments where we have study sessions for you, where there's like giveaways or music or trivia, all kinds of student support programs that we try to coordinate to the needs that you all have and the things that you say that you want. Okay. And then here's a survey. Now this survey is going to talk about like, did you like this presentation and all that jazz? But the most important thing is you have an opportunity in there to kind of talk about or put in what you feel is most important or the things that you want to see CDI do. So CDI, we really focus, and it's really important to us to utilize and listen to students about what it is that's important to you in the programs that you want to see. So this is your chance to let us know, you know, hey, I want to see this type of program. I want to be able to go to the barbershop or get my hair done on campus, or I want to go on a retreat or any kind of thing. tell me your dreams, so I'm not making no promises, okay? We got a budget. But what I will say is that we will take it all into consideration and find creative ways and innovative ways to make sure that you know that you belong, that we see you, and that is important to us for you to build a community on campus. Yeah. So that's it for CDI presentation, but I'm really interested in learning more about you all. And if you have any questions about me or DC, like I said, I'm one of the few that are from DC that you can ask certain questions to about it. Yeah, so any questions, let me know. We have a few minutes left here. I'm curious to know why you all chose to come into the CDI breakout room. Was there something in particular you were wanting to hear or learn more about? And you can put it in the chat. Also, I wanted to mention the importance of having a center like this. Oh, great. Thank you for sharing your identity. Yeah, so absolutely, like there's so many different ways to become involved and to find your folks. Wanted to be sure my student has a welcoming place. Absolutely. I completely understand that. It is certainly ways for your student